So now we're moving on to the cons of a no-kill shelter. And I want to start off with the personal experience that I had. Compared to Kelsey's positive story, this was my personal experience with the no-kill shelter. So I had 2 dogs, and one of them ran away, and he killed the dog. So then we had to take him to go get killed, but we began with taking him to a no-kill shelter, and they didn't accept my dog. So we had to go take him to a kill shelter, and unfortunately, they killed my dog. So that was just my personal experience. So now we'll be moving on to the cons of a no-kill shelter. Thousands of animals pour into shelters on a daily basis, far outnumbering the number of homes available, can cause an overcrowding of animals. This can lead injuries or deaths from fights or self-inflicted injuries, such as throwing themselves against their cages. Overcrowding can lead to stress on the animals, which may cause them to stop eating and lowers their immune systems, which could lead to becoming sick and potentially lead to their death. Most no-kill shelters are at capacity, which means they stop taking animals in. The animals that are turned away may be subject to abandonment on the street, where they are likely to die due to starvation, being hit by a car, or end up at a conventional shelter. Only accept animals based on certain health conditions. Animals that were healthy upon surrender are most likely to become sick the longer they are subject to the shelter environment. Animals can be in cage for months, and in some cases years, till they get adopted. Because of a no-kill policy, aggressive, senior, unhealthy, or otherwise unadoptable animals may take up space for more easily placeable animals. Since animals may be caged for long periods, it can affect them physiologically, turning them into depressed and even aggressive animals. Confinement often can change the personality of even the nicest animals. These dogs are much more likely to be passed over by potential adopters who do not understand that this can be a temporary response to the stress of shelter life. Vermont veterinarian Peggy Larson stated, "I am very much against the no-kill movement for many reasons. Unsuitable and dangerous animals are being released to the public. Animals in these no-kill shelters pile up and live horrible lives in tiny cages for long periods of time. Some of these places turn into hoarding situations. While the idea of a no-kill shelter appears to be the most humane, the realities of it may not be the most ideal. Animals can have handed to unfit homes, such as abusers and hoarders. When numbers become the priority, animals are no longer viewed as individuals, deserving of consideration and respect, but instead as inventory that must be moved, causing shelters to toss aside even basic safeguards. Due to limited space, animals may often be transported to other states that may have more room available. This can lead to issues with disease emerge that may not have been prevalent in the region before."
So now we're going to go ahead and talk about a lady named Ashley Price. She was a founder of the no-kill shelter, Priceless Pets in Southern California states some of the main concerns involved with the no-kill variety of shelters include cost, companion fatigue, exhaustion, volunteer help, and community support. Ethical aspects. Many people believe it's a good idea to have no-kill animal shelters because it gives animals a chance to live and be adopted. Others believe it's okay to have kill shelters because of all the animals that might be sick or a danger to people. A local no-kill animal shelter in Fresno said, We believe animals as living creatures deserve to be protected, respected, and given every consideration morally and ethically. Some people believe that it's good to have a kill shelter because there are not enough homes for the animals. Cultural and sociological importance. Animals play a meaningful part in people's lives, and no-kill shelters give people the opportunity to pets that would normally be euthanized. No-kill animal shelters reflect the way that our society views and appreciates animals in need. No-kill shelters provide pets to people that may otherwise not have access to be able to afford adopting new animals. No-kill shelters may provide invaluable volunteer and educational opportunities to community members that are beneficial to their psychological and social health. Pet adoption can give families new responsibility, improve physical and mental health, and it can also increase social interaction, all while providing homes to pets in need. So now we're going to go ahead and move into current events. Los Angeles recently has reached their no-kill goal of having 90% or more of the animals to enter their shelters not be euthanized. Central California SPCA has announced they have filed charges against the Fresno County no-kill shelter for neglecting nearly 400 animals. And if you think about all those animals that are being neglected in Fresno, that's a lot. And it's pretty sad. Leaders of Coachella Valley's animal shelter have announced their commitment to becoming a no-kill community by 2020. California has the largest no-cage, no-kill animal shelter in the country in the form of the Cat House on the Kings.
In conclusion, after all the research and thought that we put into our presentation based off all of the pros and cons associated with the no-kill shelters, our group decided that we are in support of all of the no-kill animal shelters. There are both pros and cons to these animal shelters. No-kill is a truly admirable goal, but it is only going to work when a community is willing to back it with the time and the money and to open their homes to all of the unwanted animals. No-kill shelters improve adoption rates. All animals' lives are valuable, and no-kill shelters save more money than other shelters combined. Nationally, roughly 4 million animals are killed in shelters every year. Of these, roughly 90% of all shelter animals were healthy and treatable. Unfortunately, there will always be kill shelters, but as a whole, we should strive to save the lives of as many animals as possible and implement as many no-kill shelters as we can, as they are really the best option. In conclusion, adopt, don't shop.